About 10 minutes and we're live. Hey everyone, here with Shirley.
What's up, y'all?
And by the way, guys, the chat is not enabled, so you can try to chat, but I don't think I'll see it. But anyways, how you doing, Shirley?
I'm good. I'm pretty good. We're here at Sundance, enjoying the weather, the slopes. The slopes are real good.
That's right. That's right. And I wanted to bring you on because you told me kind of a funny story.
Yeah.
And so, you know,
fucked up.
A fucked up story,
yeah.
Exactly. This talk is not going to be very, very PC, just so you guys know. But so Sundance normally, like Park City has like 10,000 people, and this weekend, because like Hollywood and everyone is here, there's like 180,000 people in a like a city of 10,000. And Utah, you know, it's like a nice city, Latter-day Saints and everything, but it's also very white, right? So you were walking down the street today, and then what happened?
Yeah, so I was just walking up Park Avenue, one of the main streets in Sundance, and with this other East Asian girl. And as we were walking, these guys drove up in a car next to us, and they started whooping at us.
Whooping like whoop, 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 whoop.
Yeah, just like whoa, like random. And then I turned around and I was like, oh, fuck you know, because I really, like, I react really quickly to those types of things.
So, was it like a cat call? Was it kind of like what they were doing, or?
It felt like, yeah,
felt
just like a rude, like inappropriate.
I see. So you don't like to be catcalled?
No.
Okay.
Who does?
I mean, I would. Actually, that's not true.
No.
I have been catcalled by women, and it felt weird. I would have preferred, hey, any girl watching, if you stop your car, actually come talk to me. But anyways, keep going.
No, I mean, women just want to walk on the streets and like do their own thing. Like they don't want to be like gazed at and whatever. They don't want to be sexualized randomly.
Okay.
And so basically, I said fuck you, and then three white guys like stuck their head out of the car in this like off-white SUV. And they all just yelled like "fuck you, chinks" at me and this girl, like just like 11 a.m. walking around Sundance. So like,
and they probably weren't attending Sundance. They were probably just local residents or maybe skiers or something, right?
I think so. I don't know. I think the like Sundance crowd is pretty white, affluent.
Oh, so you think maybe it's actually people attending Sundance? Okay, all right.
Yeah.
I'm giving the LA Hollywood crowd more benefit of the doubt, but maybe you're right.
No, I think Sundance is pretty white, honestly. It's like you see a lot of fur coats around. You see pretty.
It's a lot of blonde women.
Yeah.
Very attractive blonde women too.
So it's like very clear, you know, what the demographic is. So these types of things happen. It's pretty crazy.
So, have you had a history of that type of experience?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's called like Asian bitch, just like
Asian
randomly
bitch?
at night.
What?
Yeah.
Is this in? So you grew up in Iowa, right?
Yeah.
Was this in Iowa?
This is in Iowa.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, Iowa's pretty white too, but like, wow. I thought like, you know, I grew up in Chicago. I grew up in Illinois. My impression of like white Midwesterners, like they're super nice people. But I guess you've experienced some of the other side too.
Yeah. I mean, right. It's like you get a good mix of people, but people still feel like they can say that shit to Asians. So.
And you, of course, you don't fear saying stuff back to them, right? You say stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I think I like grew. I think I just like I've learned when I can speak up and when I can't. Like if I'm alone, it's hard to. And if it's like there's men in this one room with me and it's only me, like I'm scared they're gonna touch me or like attack me, and so I have to kind of like evaluate whether it's okay to speak up or not. But when I can, I try to, because it's like. Oh, it's so angering, and it's like if we don't show anger and if we don't show our upsetness, then like how are things gonna change? How are things gonna...
And what Shirley's saying is something. If you guys watch my channel, you know I talk to you guys a lot about boundaries, right? You got to know what your boundaries are, and if people cross them, a lot of times, if it's bothering you, you gotta tell them. This is something I tell everyone here. You know, you can relate this to any part of life, but like what she's saying is basically what I advocate on this channel. Like, if someone's doing something, someone's saying something that's bothering you, just let them know. You know, if they're angry with a knife, okay, don't like try to start an argument with them. But like, especially if they're well-intentioned, they don't know they're being an asshole or whatever, tell them. If they're not well-intentioned, tell them anyways. But you have to call people out when the time comes.
It makes a difference. It's hard to. I think it's really hard to, but I think when people are honest, it does create like a better society, a better relationship between people.
And also, on the flip side, also learn to compromise sometimes. You can't always get your way too, right? That's a talk I want to talk about in depth in the future. So for those of you watching, that's a future talk. But like, you know, I know people who like they're so busy trying to be jerks because they're always trying to call people out, even for the slightest thing.
Yeah.
And that's not right either. You can't go through society. You can't find harmony being like that. Then you're just like, everyone's kind of a little like
holding it
yeah,
in.
yeah, exactly.
I think that's real. It happens a lot in the Midwest, I would say, because people have this like standard of politeness.
That's true.
And, like manners.
They're not. I know certain Midwesterners who don't even know how to say no. They're kind of like they find an excuse, but they don't even say no.
Yeah, you gotta find a balance for sure. Yeah.
So let's move to something fun, which is that her dad knew Charles Barkley. And
crazy story.
how did they bond? By the way, guys, I will share the link to the whole story so you guys can read the whole story. But very briefly, how did your dad know Charles Barkley?
Yeah, so basically they met each other in this hotel bar in San Francisco or Sacramento just on a random night. And they started talking. My dad asked for a picture. They talked for like an hour, decided, hey, like let's go get lunch. Got back from lunch and talked a little bit more. And then like that was a good night, whatever, chance encounter. But then the next night they saw each other again.
Oh wow.
And they like hung out again. And then they saw each other the next night. And so they exchanged numbers.
Wow.
And they started going to like basketball games together. They would like go to dinner together.
Wow.
And they just like built this friendship. And so like my dad would come home and he would like tell me, oh, I'm friends with Charles Barkley. And my first reaction was like, oh, I don't know who that is. And then my second one would be like, I think you're lying. Like it's probably like a very one-sided situation. Like you're just like a fangirl. But yeah, it turned out to not be the case. And I feel like if you want to hear the rest of the story, you should listen to the podcast.
Yeah, so I will put her podcast in the pinned comments later when this video comes out. So for those of you not looking at this live who tune in later, you'll see the full story.
Yay. Alright, can we get a Sundance view?
Yeah, sure. Actually, for those of you watching, if I turn my camera, you guys might lose this. So I'm gonna